In this video, I'm going to show you how to launch a fully featured online store using WooCommerce for less than $3 a month. Now, if you follow me online, you already know that I run a 7-figure online store over at bumblebeelinens.com. But I also run another e-commerce store with my kids over at Kid in Charge, where they sell entrepreneurship t-shirts online. Now, my kids came up to me and they said they wanted to start an online store, but my kids are really young and they didn't have a lot of money. So together, we started an online store using WooCommerce for less than $3 a month, and the kids paid for this all by themselves. And I'm showing you this video because if my 9 and 11-year-old kids can start a fully featured e-commerce store, then so can you. So before we begin, this is what their store looks like, and as you can see, it looks pretty darn good. And here are the t-shirts that they have for sale. Let's get started with the demo now. So first off, I want you to go over to mywifequitherjob.com, and I want you to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I want you to sign up for Bluehost. Now, Bluehost is the machine that will run your website, and I've negotiated a special deal where you can get 60% off. Now, Bluehost is what is called a starter web host, and it'll be pretty good until you hit about 10,000 visits per month before you have to upgrade. But for a starting online store, Bluehost is more than good enough, and it's very inexpensive. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the entire sign-up process. So I want you to click here, and then I want you to hit Get Started. And then I want you to hit the basic plan. Now, one thing that's about Bluehost that I want to just warn you guys ahead of time, they're going to constantly try to upsell you with more expensive plans. But to start an online store, all you ever need is the basic plan that costs $2.95 a month. They might try to entice you to higher e-commerce plans like this one, but I'm telling you, all you need is this basic plan. So I'm going to hit select here. And what's cool about Bluehost is that they give you a free domain. Now, I actually recommend that you have your domain in mind before you sign up so you can get it for free. You can still sign up and create your domain later, but if you create your domain later, you actually have to contact Bluehost support, tell them your domain, and they have to readjust your website. So just to make things a little bit more smooth, have your domain in mind before you sign up. So for the purposes of this example, I'm going to register mywooexample.com. Okay, it says it's available. And I'm just going to fill out all these parameters here. Okay, so the plan that you want to choose is 12 months for $2.95 a month. And this is what's going to happen. They're going to give you a bunch of these upsells here, and you want to just make sure to uncheck them all because you do not need them. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn off Code Guard. I'm going to turn off Site Lock Security. So after you check off all those items, your total should be $35.40. All right, so I'm just going to enter my credit card here real quick. And make sure you check this, otherwise they will spam you. And then click Submit. Okay, I'm going to click on Create Your Account. And I'm going to create a password here. And click Create Account. And this next step should just take a couple minutes, so you just have to wait. And then you want to click Create Your Website. And then I'm going to click Skip this step. None of this information is important, by the way. It's just stuff that Bluehost uses. I'm going to just hit Skip this step. And I'm going to name it My WooCommerce Example Tutorial to Start an Online Store. Again, none of this stuff matters. You can change it later. I don't even know how Bluehost is going to use this information. So I'm just going to hit Continue. Okay, so what's cool is that Bluehost provides you with a bunch of free themes. And since we're starting an e-commerce store, you can just select any of the ones from the e-commerce area. Again, this doesn't matter because in a subsequent lesson, I'm actually going to give you a free theme that I designed that will allow you to recreate my kids store over at Kid in Charge if you like the design. And personally, I think my kids' website looks pretty good. So again, it's up to you which theme you want to use. So I'm just going to pick a random one here and just go with it here. Okay, I'm going to pick this one. And again, this step doesn't matter. Nothing's ever set in stone, by the way. Anything that you choose here can be undone later without any problems whatsoever. And again, just keep in mind, I'm going to give you my free theme and give you a full tutorial on how to set up a website that looks exactly like Kid in Charge. I'll even give you the graphics and everything. So at this point, Bluehost has set up our website and has connected our domain, mywooexample.com, to this site. Now just keep in mind, it takes a little bit of time for all that stuff to get connected. So don't panic if you click on this button, log into WordPress, and you get a screen like this. All right? And this is because the domain and the website is not yet connected. It takes a little bit of time for the domain to actually connect with your website. So if you're getting something like this, just be patient and maybe wait like an hour and come back, and everything should be connected. So in the meantime, I'm going to have you do a couple things with the website. All right, so first off, we're going to go under My Sites, and you should see the website that you actually just created. I want you to click on Manage Site and go under Settings, and I want you to turn off the Coming Soon page. If you leave this on, it's just going to be this page that's going to be static, and again, you want it to go directly to your website. This is mainly for beginners who don't want their website to be live before they work on it. But here's my philosophy. You may as well put your website live because in the beginning, no one's going to be able to find it anyways. So just turn this off. And at this point, when you go to mywooexample.com, you should be able to see your website. Okay, this is what the website looks like. And as you can see, the domain is already connected. And now we can actually go back and configure the website. Okay, so at this point, things are almost ready to go. And what's frustrating about this next step is that you just have to wait. Now, the question is, how long do you have to wait? Well, this is what you need to wait. And Bluehost doesn't tell you this. But if you go under My Sites, under Manage Site, under Security, you want to look at this upper left box here. If it still says pending or it tells you something about in progress, then you still need to wait for the entire site to get set up. In the event that you try to access your website before the security part is set up, then you're going to get errors. All right, so if you just set everything up and it's only been like 20 or 30 minutes, I think you need to wait like a full hour for the entire site to get set up. So if you see something like in progress here, just go and do something else for a little while, come back, check the security tab, and if it looks like this, then you are ready to progress to the next step of the tutorial. All right, so assuming that security and everything's all set up and your website's all connected and you've waited an hour after you signed up, the next step is to click on Log into WordPress. Now, this is the back end of your website. And if you guys aren't familiar with WooCommerce, WooCommerce is actually a plugin that goes on top of WordPress that allows you to take transactions online. And WooCommerce is 100% free. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to configure your store in order to, accept transactions and add products. So the first step is to go under the dashboard and then go under plugins and installed plugins. And you want to make sure that WooCommerce is installed. Now, depending on the questions that you chose when you configured your first site, if you chose store, then WooCommerce should already be installed. But just in case it is not installed and you don't see it here, you need to go ahead and install it yourself. And I think for most of you, if you guys follow the wizard correctly, you should have it already installed, but I'm just going to show you how to install it just in case it didn't come installed. You want to click on Add New, just type in WooCommerce, find the plugin, click on Install Now, and then click on Activate. So once you activate WooCommerce, it's going to take you to the Setup Wizard. Now, in the event that your instructions look different or if WooCommerce was already installed, the easiest way to go to the Setup Wizard is just to go under WooCommerce, Home, and it will walk you through a 7-step wizard. And all you got to do is just click on each of these and set up your store. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of these steps, and then some of these steps I'm going to reserve for a subsequent video. So the first thing is to add store details. You're going to want to include your address. So I'm just going to click in a fake address here. And then your selling locations, the default customer location, whether you want coupons, what the default currency is, do everything, and then hit Save Changes. And then to continue on with the wizard, you can go back to the home screen and then continue on and add your first product. So we're going to sell a physical product here, and I'm just going to make it Kid in Charge t-shirt. It's going to have a description. Enter in your description here. Scroll down, enter in the pricing, a short description, and then click publish. And congratulations, you just added your first product. And to take a look at it, you can just click on this link right here. It'll take you over to the product, and it's a fully functional shopping cart at this point. You can add it to the cart, and it'll be added to your cart, and your website is essentially good to go at this point. Let's continue on with the wizard though. Okay, so to go back to the wizard, once again, go under WooCommerce Home, and you're going to want to set up payments. So I'm going to reserve the payment setup for a subsequent video, but I'll just give you a little precursor to what's coming. You're probably going to want to use Stripe and PayPal to accept payments. Again, it's a little bit more involved, so I'm going to save that for a subsequent video. But outside of setting up payments, your store is pretty much good to go. Now, in a subsequent video, I'm going to give you my theme, show you how to install it, and create an online store that looks exactly like Kit in Charge. I'll give you the graphics and everything. And I'll show you how to set up payment processing so you can actually get paid and start selling right away. All right, so that is pretty much it for this tutorial. There's actually one last thing that I want to show you. Okay, so this is your WordPress backend. If you go back to your Bluehost portal, which looks like this, I want to show you how to set up a domain branded email. What's cool about Bluehost is that it gives you up to 5 email addresses for free. So you want to go under Advanced, and then you want to go under Email Accounts, and you can actually set up custom branded email accounts. The way you do it is you just hit Create, the username for the email. You can put your name at WooExam, whatever your domain is, enter in a password, hit Create, and there you go. You can actually have people email you at this address, and you can get email. Now, where does this email go exactly? What you want to do is you want to click on Check Email. You want to go under Forwarders, and you actually want to add a forwarder. And this way, when everyone emails whatever email address you created, it will forward it to your main email inbox. All right, so that's all I had to show you for today. I hope you found this whole setup process super simple. In a subsequent video, I'm going to show you how to set up payment processing, as well as how to recreate kitincharge.com with a free theme that I'm going to be giving you along with the graphics. By the way, if you find all this stuff interesting, make sure you sign up for my free 6-day mini course over at mywifequitterjob.com/free.